Thank you for tuning in to Terry Swoop Videos. I wanted to talk about this police shooting that just happened in Minneapolis, Minnesota. This black woman was carjacked at gunpoint. She was driving in a car with her and her daughter, and a man pulls up and points a gun in her face and tells her and her daughter to get out the car. And he steals the car. And later on, the police catch up with this carjacker and they shoot and kill him. What blew me away about this story is that Black Lives Matter protesters showed up and protested for the criminal carjacker. They showed up and protested for this criminal carjacker and called the police racist. Even though the man is on video pointing a gun at police while he's trying to get away. Black Lives Matter needs to start separating the difference between criminals who are killed by the police and innocent people who are killed by the police. There's been far too many occasions where Black Lives Matter in the mainstream media will turn a hero into a criminal. They're turning criminals into martyrs. There is a huge difference between a criminal who is killed by the police and an innocent person who's killed by the police. Now, I believe Dante Wright was an innocent man. Dante Wright was a 20-year-old man who was killed by a female officer when she made a mistake by using a gun instead of using her taser. So in that particular case, I believe Dante Wright was innocent. But in this particular case, this carjacker deserved to be shot by the police. All the evidence shows that. All the video evidence shows that. And I'm going to show the video of him running from the police and pointing a gun at police right before he's shot. They haven't released the identity of the carjacker, but what you're going to find out is that the carjacker is white. When the video shows that he's a white male, heavy set with long hair. But a lot of these protesters don't realize that he's white. They're assuming that the person that the police killed was a black person. And this is why they're protesting and calling the police racist. And this is the problem I have with Black Lives Matter not looking at the facts before they start protesting. They look like complete idiots calling the police racist for shooting a white carjacker who robbed a black woman.
This side of the track, I usually be on the videos and trying to see what happened and trying to, understand people's different perspectives and stuff. But being on this side of the track, especially as a black woman, and I'm an ex-police officer, so I understood everything that unfolded as I was here. Stood all that. I knew that they shot him in my car. They wouldn't confirm it, but I already knew it because of experience. But being on this side, I would say that them officers, that they didn't kill him, that they didn't murder him. They didn't have a choice but to shoot him, because what they did is they stopped. The guy could have killed me and my six-year-old goddaughter. He could have killed who knows how many people if they wouldn't have stopped him.
They said that he was on his way to Minneapolis. Do you think that this was on, trying to come for the decision for, what time of day it's coming on? Coming week?
I don't think that's what it was. He had a couple $1,000s of cash in his hand. If I had to take my best guess, I'm going to say that he either committed a crime or committed a crime maybe before, just guessing, or maybe if he had that much money, he might have robbed somebody. Maybe he was just trying to get away. Maybe he would have ditched my car. Who knows? But the fact is, you having that gun, me doing what naturally I knew to do because of my experience and my position, I had to do that. I had to do that because, I had a 6-year-old with me. But I'm going to say he probably would, maybe he was going to get drugs or...
Where there was a shooting involving police just in the last 2 hours. This is a live look at the scene from Sky 11, which is near 35W and Highway 13. And as you can see, it is still an active scene with a lot of police vehicles there. MnDOT traffic cameras in the area did show a police chase right before shots were fired. Boyd Hooper live for us. And Boyd, what do we know at this hour?
Chris, we're trying to piece together what happened here this afternoon. No statements from police yet, but we've had a look at that traffic camera video. We've spoken to an eyewitness who you'll hear from in just a couple of seconds. But first, let's set the scene. There are at least a dozen squad cars here, a Burnsville fire truck, and then you'll see down in the ditch down here, that white Ford, that Ford played a big role in all of this. We're on the ramp. This is the ramp coming off I-35W onto Highway 13, heading east here in Burnsville. Let's take a look at that traffic camera video. So what we've been able to tell from that video is this car, the Ford that we talked about, the white Ford, coming off the ramp, when the door came open and then the person driving the car actually rolled out of the car as it was rolling at a fairly low rate of speed. And then what appeared to try and stop another motorist, a motorist that was heading east on Highway 13. It looks like he was holding something in his hands. Looks like it could have been a gun. We can't say that with certainty at this point, but it was definitely trying to stop that other car. We're going to pick up the story now with the witness that we spoke to, Joycelyn Goodman.
Tell my boyfriend, like, holy crap, I don't know if this guy is like trying to rob this person or if he's asking for help. And then that's when, as soon as that happened, that's when I heard and saw the cops let off shot.
We're following breaking news about a deadly officer-involved shooting in Burnsville tonight. The Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension is investigating. Our Mariel Mose is live in Burnsville with the very latest.
Hey Jeff, so just to paint the picture of what the scene looks like right now, Highway 13 behind me is closed down in both directions. You can obviously see a very heavy law enforcement presence is here. We have state troopers, Burnsville Police, and Burnsville Fire. Across Highway 13, you see a group of people. Those are actually Black Lives Matter protests. They said, you gotta stop shooting and killing people. That's what they're chanting right now. So if we pan over closer here to Highway 13, by the way, this is the intersection of where 35W and 13 meet. There's a ditch near the on-ramp of Highway 13 where there's a white Ford Fusion. That's the suspected stolen vehicle, the car that the suspect was driving at the time that this all unfolded. Here is a listen from police scanners of how how the pursuit unfolded.
Sounds like a carjacking that just occurred. Suspect fled. Shot at officers now northbound 35 from 42. He is in a white Fusion.
Copy, northbound 13, 35W, back window shot out, have not returned fire.
10-4, he is on foot now and carjacked another vehicle.
Fire after they shot fired. Suspect down, Highway 13, 35W.
Okay, so what we're just learning in the last few minutes from Burnsville Police is that the suspect is dead. He's a white man in his 20s. He was taken from the scene and brought to a Hennepin County Medical Center where he died. So how this unfolded initially is police encountered the white Ford Fusion. They encountered the white Ford Fusion and noticed it had stolen plates. From there, they pursued that vehicle. They realized later that that same man driving that vehicle had attempted to carjack a woman at gunpoint. At one point, the suspect tried to get out of the vehicle and run on foot, attempted to carjack another car on Highway 13. And that's when police fired and he went down and is now pronounced dead. Jeff?
A lot of new information coming in. Thank you, Elle, for that report.